Welcome to the Porch Sessions.
Thanks, sir.
I have Mike Cunliffe here with me today, and I wanted to talk to him about some of the things that he's been up to and how we met and everything like that. And we actually met at Art Walk 2012.
Yes, we did.
And it was a rainy evening. I remember, and not that many people came out because of the rain, but Mike was in the audience, and it was great because we got to meet, and he told me that he was working on a feature film and that he liked my music. And my project wasn't quite done at that time, but we finished it up and we made the connection, and my summer music is going to be in his film, It Is What It Is.
That's right. Very prominently featured.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So that's the title of the movie, It Is What It Is.
Yes.
He's been a confidant, not only from a perspective of music and film, but also as somebody who knows what it takes to put together a full project. And so he was also instrumental in directing my 2 music videos.
Which were a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Thank you, thank you.
Got those songs ingrained in my head permanently now.
I know, I think we did like 40 takes of Raindrops or something, so he directed Raindrops and Darling Please, and so I just wanted to talk to him and give a little bit of background and interview him about his upcoming project.
All right, cool.
So, before we get into talking about your upcoming film, It Is What It Is, I did want to talk to you about some of your background. So, growing up, were you always into film?
From a very early age. My parents took me to see Star Wars when I was 5 years old, and I was just mesmerized, and that started my love of science fiction and fantasy and stuff like that, but also I wanted to know as I got older, well, how did they make that? Who made that? How did they do that?
Right.
And so that led to my interest in film, and then I watched movies all the time and rented movies. I worked at a video store, I worked at a movie theater, so movies have always played a very significant part in my upbringing. And then at some point, I guess when I was in college, I realized, oh, people do this for a living. Maybe there's a way I can do this for a living. Right. I didn't know how to go about doing it, but my interest in film and wanting to find out more sort of led me in that path. So that's kind of how I got started.
And so then you found yourself in L.A., right?
I did. Well, it was weird. My dad was in the Air Force, and I moved around a lot as a kid, and then we moved to Alabama when I was a freshman in high school. And I went to school at the Auburn campus in Montgomery, and I got a theater degree. I couldn't afford film school, so I got a theater degree, and then I got a mass comm minor, and I went to work for a television station doing commercials and the evening news and stuff like that. And a film came through the area that was looking for production assistants, and we did a story about that film on the newscast I was working on. And so I went down and applied to be a production assistant on the Rosa Parks story that shot in Montgomery, and I got a job working for the locations manager. And so I learned how to manage movie locations, go find them, what you have to do to get them ready for a film crew, the contracts and stuff like that. And then when the movie Big Fish came through town the next year, because I had prior experience, I got a job on that film, and then that took me to Los Angeles. The woman I worked for on that film, her name was Robin, and she worked in film for 30 years. And when I moved out to LA, I went to work for her and did movie locations out there.
Okay, and so what do you look for in a good location, a good movie location?
How close it is to available parking. I learned very quickly, and the great thing about doing locations as a job on film set is you interact with all the other departments, because you have to not only, you have to satisfy the director's artistic vision, you have to satisfy the producer's pocketbooks and make sure it's not too expensive, and then, the art department will always, they want to change the furniture, and they want to paint the walls, and when we actually film on the location, you have to have, it has to be close enough to parking facilities. Where am I going to park the trailers? If we have extras, I got to put them somewhere, so I got to look for places that are maybe near churches or community centers and things like that. So there's a lot of logistical things that go beyond just, oh, it's a pretty picture. It's like I can find the most gorgeous house, But if it's at the top of a hill on a one-way street,
Robert Downey Jr. is not walking up that hill.
he is not. He is not having it. So, all the logistical things are a huge consideration. And that was something I learned very quickly. That is a big part of it.
Okay. So, what was life like in LA, and how was it different from Birmingham?